My name is Srinivas. I am working as assistant professor in Aeronautical College. Today, we'll discuss the error handling concept in SQL Server. Okay. In this session, we'll talk how to do the error catching. How do we arrest the errors? And how can we catch the errors and how to process them. Okay. Now we'll just see the introduction. SQL Server provides you the tool to handle errors in your T-SQL code. So what is an error? Suppose you're trying to divide by 0. It is going to give an error. That is one type of error. Or if you're trying to insert a character field into a numerical field, even that will throw an error because your database data type is their integer, but you're trying to insert worker. For example, you have mobile column in your database, and you're trying to insert instead of numbers, you're trying to insert some characters. Then it is going to throw an error, and your data will not be inserted. So that how do we handle here? Okay, the main tool used for error handling. The main tool used for error handling is a construct called try-catch block. Like any other programming language, Java or Python, here also we have the try and catch block. So what is the try and catch? We'll see now. The try catch, you'll write our code. If you are getting any error, we'll catch the catch block. So in SQL also we have a construct called as try and catch. SQL Server also provides you a set of functions that can invoke to get information about error. Apart from the error, you're trying to divide by 0. So you're going to get error. When you get error, we can also have some inbuilt functions that will tell you what is the information about error, what is the error number, what is the error severity, what is the error description. Like we have various functions available in the database to provide you more information about error. For example, there could be an error number. There could be default error numbers. Like error severity, error severity, error severity. Like this, we have error number, we have error description, we have error description. Same way, we have many methods. We have many inbuilt functions, to note the error. We'll start with a basic example demonstrating the use of try-catch, followed by more detailed example using the use of error functions. Okay, we'll try to start with a simple example of a try and catch block. Then we'll see and a much more detailed an example of the uses of error functions. You work with try-catch construct by placing the usual TSQL code in the try-catch. So your code, when you write code, you have to enclose in try and catch block. Try and catch block. So in the try, you write whatever your SQL statements what you want to write here. In the try catch block, okay, there are two blocks here, try and catch block. In the try catch block, you write what are the statements you want to do in the SQL statement. And the catch block will try to handle. We should handle here the exception being invoked by the try clause. So there is a try, there is a catch block. Okay, there is a try and the catch block. Okay. In the begin and end try keywords, all the handling in the adjacent catch blocks between end catch and keywords. So you have here begin try, and end try. Similarly, in this part, you will write your SQL code. Similarly, for every try catch block, there will be a catch block. So begin catch, and end catch. In this between, you write the error handling. We will write the logic here for error handling. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so basically we'll have some begin and we'll have some try and catch blocks. We'll have we'll have begin and try and catch blocks. So begin for try catch, we have begin try and try. Similarly for catch block, we'll have the catch block also will have begin catch and catch. For every try, there will be one catch statement. If the error if in the try catch block if we have no error, catch block is simply skipped. Suppose you are dividing 10 by 2. 10 by 2 will give you a value 5. So this will not throw an error. So your control will not go to the catch block because there is no error. Because there is no error in the statement, because there is no error in the statement, you will not go to the catch block. If we try to divide by 10 by 0, if you divide by 10, if you divide by 10 by 0, you're going to get division by 0 is not allowed or an error is ever. Now it goes to the catch block. Catch block. Again, begin catch, end catch. If the try catch has no error, the catch block is simply skipped. If the try catch block has an error, control is passed to the corresponding catch block. So, when you try to divide 0 by 1 or 10 by 0, you're going to get an error. This you write in the try catch, in the try section. When you get an error, it goes to the catch block. Only when there is error, the control will move to the catch block. If there is no error, it will not go to the catch block. Note that if a try catch block captures and handles error, as far as call is concerned, there is no error. So, for example, if you write directly in a statement like 10 by 0 on your SQL window, query analyzer, you're going to get an error. Same thing you write in your begin and try and catch block. In the catch block, you'll catch this exception, you will handle this exception, and you will handle the exception, you will handle the exception, and you will provide solution. So what could be the solution here? For 10 by 0 is a 0 is not a valid gives error. Goes to catch blocks. You say that if I get this error, do this. You do this. Then you might replace 10 by 0 as 10 by 1, or you will say this is not valid. So please try once again. So if the try catch block captures and handles error, the end user who is using it will not see an error. He will not see an error. If you write 10 by 0, you get error. In the catch block, you'll say that by default I'll make it as 0. Instead of 0, I'll make it 1. So the end user will not know. The end user will not know what is happening here. Okay, this is the introduction. This is introduction. Okay, now we'll see the error handling. Simple example. We'll see now here. First, we have the syntax called as begin try, and try. So they will be on try catch block. For every try, there is a catch here. So begin try, and try. Similarly, begin catch, and end catch. So here what we are doing is that 10 by you are trying to divide 10 divided by 1. So you are going to get a valid number. 10 divided by 1 is 10. So it first the control comes to the try block. First the control comes to the try block. Here it goes to try block. It says print 10 divided by 1. That means you are trying to print the output of 10 divided by 1. So 10 divided by 1 is 10. So it is no error here. So after printing 10, you will also print no error encountered. So as we know that if there is no error, You will not go to the, you will not go to the, you will not go to the catch block. So in the catch block also I'm writing print oops error encountered. So error encountered. So so in this first example, I'm not getting any error here. I'm not getting an error here. That's why you will not go to the catch block. You will not do. That's why you will not print oops error encountered. This will not be displayed here. You see here, you are printing the value of 10 divided by 1 and also print no error encountered. So here in the example, what we are trying to do is that yes, we have started with the try and catch block. So try will have and begin try and try. In the in between the try block, you write a SQL code. Right? If there is any exception occurred in the try block, it goes to the catch block. In this case, 10. I'm trying to print 10 divided by 1, and also if the next statement is print no error encountered. No error encountered. So here it is a valid statement. You will not get, it will not go to the catch block. So that's why you are seeing that your if you see this the message here, 10 divided by 10, 10 divided by 1 is 10, and also no error encountered. No error, no error encountered. Now we'll see here the next example. We'll see the next example. How we will handle when there is a exception here. Now same way same way begin try, end try, begin catch, end catch. So begin try. So a try catch block is there. Here I'm starting with begin try, end try. Now here I'm printing the value of 10 divided by 0. If that is successful, I'll get print no error ending, because after this control goes to the next line. So I should get here, if it's a value statement, I should get here 10 divided by 0, a value of that, and print no error encountered. So if there is no error, it will not go to the catch block. Now in this case, there is an error. In this case, there is a good error. It comes to the begin catch. Here you are saying print oops error encountered and catch. So when you execute this statement, you will not get any error display. You will not get any error. You will not get any crash, because it comes to the try block. It sees that there is an error. It goes to the catch block, and in the catch block you are saying print oops error encountered. Directly, if you type this 10 by 0 on your window, you are going to get an error. Division by 0 is not allowed, and the user will be informed this. User will be seeing this error. User will be division by 0 is not allowed. Division by 0 is not allowed, and the user will see this error. But in this case, the user will not see error. You will just see that you're trying to print a message called as oops error encountered. You're trying to display a message called oops error discovered. So I repeat, in that you do the error handling in SQL by using the try and catch block. If there is no error in the try block, you will not go to the catch block. You will not go to the catch block. If there's an error in the try block, it goes to the catch block. In the catch block, you're catching the exception. If you catch the exception, end user will not know that there was an error, but he'll see that you'll display a message saying that oops error miscontent, and you can make it as 10 divided by 1. You can make it as 10 divided, because you want to catch the error. So 10 by 0 is going error. So I'm saying here print oops not encoded. I can modify the value of 0 to up to 1. I can say print 10 comma 1. That means that your end user will not know error. If you don't use the try and catch block, directly if you give 10 by 0 on your SQL query window, you are going to get division by 0 is not allowed, or you get an error. In this case, the end user will not know that there is error. You'll just see a message, whatever message you have written in the catch block. So in this example, I have written only a print statement, but in the real time, you will not only print, you will do the error handling here. In the catch block, you will do the error handling here. in the catch block, you will do the error handling here. In this case, when you execute this piece of code, first the control goes to the try block, print 10 divided by 0. So it is an error. So it goes to the catch block. The catch block, it will say oops, error encountered. Now you see the message here. You see the message is oops, error encountered. If there is no error, like for example this, you will get 10 divided by 10 is 10, and also print no error encountered. So it will not go to the catch block. Only when there is error, it goes to the catch block. 10 divided by 0 is the error. So you will not get value, and also not no error encountered like you got here. It goes to the catch block. In the catch block, you are catching the exception called, and you are trying to print a message called oops, error encountered. Now see here, oops, error encountered here. We'll see some more thing. Okay, some more thing. Instead of catching it, you can also throw the exception outside. Instead of catching in the earlier case, you caught the exception, right? You caught the exception, and you have given the end user, oops, error encountered message. Here you're trying to process the catch, you're trying to process the error, but sometimes you don't want to process this error. You want to throw the error to the end user. You want to throw the error to the end user. Throw means you want to display you are not interested in doing the error handling. You're not interested in doing the error handling. You want to inform the user. Show him the error. Throw means you show him the end user the error. So in this case, you are not handling the exception. Okay, that is throwing the error. So here, now this time, now begin. We'll see one more example. We'll see one more example of how to throw the error. So begin, try, and try. So you write your logic you write your logic in the try block. So in the try block, I have begin, try, and try. In that, I'm trying to divide, print 10 divided by 0, print no error. Now definitely this is going to give an error. Definitely this is going to give me an error. This is going to give me one error. So I'm printing 10 divided by 0. So I'm going to get 0. Now I'm going to the catch blocks. Because there is an error here, it goes to the catch block. So when you go to the catch block, you are not handling it, you are throwing it. Say throw. Throw. When the divide by 0 happened in the first print statement in the try block, control was passed to the corresponding catch block. The second print statement in the try class the try was not executed. Therefore, the code generated the following output. So here I'm not catching the exception here. So if you're not catching the exception, what is happening? I'm throwing the error outside. So this will be displayed to the user. Divide by zero error statement. Because you're not catching the exception here and you're throwing the user. In the earlier example, you caught the exception and you're printing by oops, error encountered. But in this case, I am not catching the error. I am throwing the error to the end user. So when you get an error, it goes to the catch block. In the catch block, instead of handling the error, I am throwing the error outside. So I just say begin catch, end catch, say throw. So what is happening when you get this error? It goes to the control goes to the first try. It tries to print 10 divided by 0. It finds an error. So automatically this next step is skipped. This statement is skipped. That statement is skipped. It goes to the catch block. In the catch block, it sees that is there any logic to calculate the error. There is no logic here, so it's throwing error. So you're going to get error called as, see here, divide by zero, error encountered. This here, did we write this statement? Did we write this statement anywhere? No, we didn't write. In the earlier example, You have said you have written oops error encountered, but in this case you have not written any message. You just say throw. Your system is throwing a message called as divided by zero error and encountered error divided by zero encountered means. So to reiterate, see I'm saying that in the whenever we do the error handling, we'll have a try and catch blocks. And if you want to handle, you can handle in the catch block. You're not interested or you don't know how to handle it. You just throw the error to the outside. You'll see this. You'll just see this error statement. Now we'll see what are the various. In the first slide, we have seen that in the SQL. See the third line. See the third line. SQL Server also provides you a set of functions that you can invoke to get information about the error. So whenever you write in some statement, and if you get an error you're trying to divide by zero or 10 by 0 or 10 by 0 or 0 by 10, you're going to get an error. That error will be that by the when you got error, we have some functions to get the information about error. What is the error severity? What is the error number? What error description? Like we have some inbuilt functions. We have some inbuilt functions to care to. We have some inbuilt functions to take care of those to take care of those errors. Okay. So typically error handling involves some work in the catch block, investigating the cause of error. So basically, what is handling? Handling is to taking care. So error handling. So typically, error handling involves some work in the catch block, some work in the catch block, investigating the cause of the error and taking the course of action. So error handling means is not throwing the error to the user. We have to handle the error. So when you get an error, you should not ideally you should not throw the error to the end user. Instead of that, you try to handle the exception. So that handling is done in the catch block. Okay. So apart from that, when you're trying to do, your system is going to give you some information about the error by a set of functions. Like in the first slide, we have seen the third point that SQL Server provides you some set of functions to tell you about the error. So we'll see what are the default functions available in the error handling set. So we have error number, we have the error number, we have the error number. We also have error state, error severity, error line, error procedure. Okay, these are the various. Apart from this, there are many more, but at high level, we'll be mostly concentrating on these default functions: error number, error state, error severity, error line, and also error procedure. So these are the various inbuilt functions which are provided by the system to us to handle the error handling. So first we'll see the error number. The error number functions returns the integer, the number of the error, and probably the most important of the error functions. So we have something called as error number is function gives you the integer with the number of the error. Like example 101, 101, 102. For this example, we'll have some error. We have some default error numbers are there. It means that if you try to divide by 0, you will get near divide by 0 encountered. For that, there will be a specific number. What are the common errors you have encountered? SQL Server has predefined those errors and they have provided number for each of those errors. So the most important function is the error number. So for error numbers, like suppose you make your column as unique key, you make your column as unique key, unique constraint. That means you'll not be able to insert two duplicate values. For example, my first value is A, my second value is B, third C. The fourth value I want to insert again A or B or C, I'll be getting an error called as violation of unique key constraint. Violation of unique key constraint because I made my column as a unique constraint. I've inserted A and B and C. Now in the fourth record, I'm trying to insert either A or B or C. Then I'm going to get an error called as a unique the violation of violation of unique constraint. That for that they will be, because it is a frequently occurring message statement, frequent error. SQL server must have caught that error. He must have given some number to it. Huh? It is definitely caught. For that there will be a particular number. Like 101 will have lots of error, 102 will have different error, 103 will have different error. For example, there would be a number of errors. We don't know the account of those errors at this point, but there are some error numbers for every error. Suppose you're trying to delete a parent record without deleting the child record. But see, you have a parent and child tables, two tables. You cannot drop or delete the parent record without the child record. Even for that, SQL Server has the error defined, and there will be error number. Okay, that is what the error number means. For every commonly occurring errors, SQL Server has already defined you some numbers. Okay, the catch block usually includes the flow code that inspects the error number to check and determines the what course of is action at stake. So in the catch block usually includes code that inspects the error number to determine and what course action to take. Okay, in the catch block, in the begin catch, end catch, we'll check if error number is equal to this. If error underscore number is equal to 100, do this. If error number is equal to 101, do this. That means that we are trying to check our code. We're trying to provide a workaround by comparing with the default error numbers. So the catch block includes the flow code. It includes a code that inspects the error number. We'll check for the error number and we'll see what action can be taken. Suppose you're trying to divide by 0. So you'll get some divide by 0 is encountered. In that case, you'll have some number. So when you get that number, in the catch block, I'll say, if I get 10 divided by 0, 10 divided by 0 is not valid, there will be some number to it. So for example, it could be 107. If my error number is equal to 107, you say you print cannot divide by 0, provide a valid number. Okay, that is the error number. Similarly, we have the error message. Error message function returns the error text. Like you have the error number. See what is error number means? Error number means it will be 100, and error message will be divide by 0 encountered. Divide by 0 encountered. Divide by 0 encountered. Error number is basically a place integer number. For every frequently getting error, you will have some error numbers. Similarly, the description of the error will be in the error message. The description of the error would be in the error underscore message. So, error underscore number will give you only the number, integer value, telling what is the error. It will not tell you the actual description. Just have a number. Similarly, the error underscore message will tell you the exact problem of that number. You have a number once 100. The description of that will be displayed in the error underscore message. So this is the second function. Error underscore number. Sorry. The error underscore number is the first thing. Then we have seen the error underscore message. In this message, you will have the description of the error. Okay. Now we have Now we have some more things to discuss here. Sorry. To get the list of errors and messages, to get the list of, if you want to see what are the error numbers and messages, you have to query the sys.messages catalog view. So you have to select your data. You have to write a select statement. Select start from sys_messages. If you execute this statement on your query ls window, you're going to get what are the total error message. Apart from these two columns, there could be there are some more columns are available, like error severity, error state. We'll see the error severity and the error state function returns the error severity and state. Okay. Now, what is the error severity? Now, we have till now we have seen the error number. We have seen the error number, error message. Okay. Now we'll see the error severity will tell how severe is error. How severe is there are some default values for error severity. Is it critical? Or it is less critical? Something there. Some keywords are there. The error severity. Same also we have the error state. Error state functions also will tell you the state of the error. Next, we have the error line function, returns you the line number where error occurred. Now we see in the try block, in the begin try, in the end try, you have some set of code. Some set of code. That means there are some 5 to 6 statements of code. So if you get an error there when you are using the function called line number, suppose you have written code in the try class like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you get an error at the fourth line, then by using the inbuilt function, the error underscore line function returns the line number where the error occurred. At this point, if you get an error, you'll see what is the error line. Finally, the error underscore procedure function returns the name of the procedure in which the error happened and returns null when there is no error happening in the procedure. Okay, it is that the error procedure is that it will tell you when you call this error underscore procedure, it is inbuilt function. When you call this, it will tell you the name of the procedure in which the error occurred. You must have written the multiple store procedures to insert data, update, or to view the data. If you see that get an error, you'll see what is that name of the procedure in which if we don't get any error, it will display as null. Remains and returns null if the error did not happen within the procedure. So basically, in this slide, we are seeing what is the use of error function, error number. For every error, there will be default number allowed by SQL Server. Similarly, we will see the error message will tell you what is the exact error in the alphabet, in the characters. Error number will be like integer, which you will not much understand because numbers doesn't make sense. Suppose if I say to the end user, you got error 103. He'll ask me what is this 103. But if you tell him that 103 is you're trying to divide by 0, that's why I got error. That is the error message. Okay. So also from apart from error message, we also have the error severity. We also have the error severity, error state. We also have the error severity, error state, and we also have the error line, which will tell you where exactly in the code you got the error. You have written some set of lines of code. Like for example, you have written 10 lines of code. If you encounter error at the sixth line, then you use the function called error line. will tell you at which part of the code you got the error. Similarly, we have the error underscore procedure, which will tell you the name of the procedure in which you got error. And if you don't get an error, you will not get any null. Okay. Okay. To demonstrate to to demonstrate a more detailed error handling example, including the use of error functions. Till now, we have seen what is an error number, error message, We also have error underscore line. We also have error underscore severity. We also seen error underscore state. We also seen error underscore procedure. Now we'll make use of these functions in our code. We'll try to make use of these functions in our code. Okay, to demonstrate a more detailed error handling example, including the use of error functions, first we'll try to create a table called employee. Okay. Now what we are trying to do, we're trying to use a more complex. In the initial example, we are using a small example like 10 divided by 0 or 10 divided by 1. This is not giving error, so no catch block going. In this case, it goes to catch block and you have a different message. Now we'll see some complicated example. For that, I'm going to create one. I'm going to give a more detailed example. See here, I'm creating a table called employees, having columns EMPID, integer not null, EMP name varchar 25. So manager ID in null, constraints. This is primary key. Primary key is pk underscore employees. Primary key is that which will not allow duplicates and it will uniquely identify this record. So I'm making my EMP ID as a primary key. And also I'm making one more constraint, adding constraint, check constraint to make sure that my EMP ID is greater than 0. So constraint chk underscore employee, EMP ID same column, EMP ID, I'm checking that my EMP ID should be greater than 0. And then I also creating a foreign key, employees, same to employees, saying that my manager is also an employee. So see carefully, here I'm getting a table, employees table having EMP ID, EMP name, manager ID, 3 columns. Then I'm creating 3 constraints. One is the primary constraint. So on EMP ID, that means I cannot have duplicates for the EMP and it will uniquely identify. Then I'm also making one more condition that my EMP should be greater than 0. And the third thing is that I'm also making sure that when I insert a manager, it should be also be an employee. So I cannot have a manager who is not employed in my organization. This is the logic. This is the table I'm going to insert. I'm going to create. Now I create this table. I copy this line of code. and I execute on the window. Now my table employees would be created. Employees would be created. Now we'll try to do the error handling. So the following set of code inserts a new row into the employees table in the try block. So I said that whatever logic you have tried in the try block, and if any error occurs, then we will show how to identify the error by inspecting the error number in the catch block. The code uses flow control to handle errors if you want to in the catch block and rethrow the error otherwise. If you don't want to handle it, you can throw it. The code also print out the value of other functions simply to understand what information is stored. So in this example, what we're trying to do, we'll have that we are using the inbuilt functions like error underscore number, message, severity, state, line number to know what is available here. Now here, this is what. Now I said you that my employee table is having 3 columns: EMP ID, EMP name and manager ID. EMP ID is the primary key. There is a check constant and EMP should be greater than 0, and there is also a manager is also an employee. So here, first case I'm trying to do see that insert into the employee EMP ID and manager ID. So 2 common null. So it will, as it is the first record, first no problem, because EMP ID EMP name is not null, right? Now you are going to, because it is a not null, you are trying to pass null. You are trying to pass here. You're trying to pass null. You're not passing here. You're going to get error. So begin try. In the cat block, you're saying if my error number is equal to 2627, print name should be unique. Please enter unique name. Or if the number is for 547, handling check FK, handling check and the constraints. If my error is 515, handling null exceptions. If error is 245, like I said that these are the various functions available in SQL Server. There are various functions available in SQL Server. For every error, you can catch it. You can catch if you get some error here, and you are checking it if the error number is this. If the error number is this, do this. If error number is do this. That means you are printing the error to the user. You are printing error these things. If it is not there in any of these things, you can say print. You're throwing the error outside to the end user. You're throwing the error to the end user. Okay, you're throwing error, and you're also printing error number, error message, severity, state, line, and proc. Now see here. Now I'm trying to now insert with 0. As there is a check constraint. You see what you're getting here. Handling null exception means handling null exception where do you write here? Yes, 515. This got satisfied. So you got handling null exception because you did not pass a value to the EMP name. So that's why you got 515. The 515 you got at handling null exception. Error number is 515. What is the error message? Cannot insert null into column EMP name because the table accept not null values. Error severity is 16. Error state is 2. Error line is 2. Error procedure is not within the stored procedure. Now you're trying to insert the first thing here. You're trying to divide by. You're trying to insert values. EMP ID, manager ID. 2 for the employee number. 2 for the employee number and null for the manager. Fine, but where is the EMP name? EMP name is the not null. So you do not pass the null. So you're getting an error called as 547. You're saying that if my error is equal to 547, I'm saying handle check 515. It says that handling 515 says handling null exception. So here I'm printing the error number as 515. This I did not print. I just use the function error number. I also print what is the exact error message, error severity, error state, line number, procedure. Okay. Now we'll try with one more one more example. I'm going to create one procedure. To handle the error handling. This procedure I will use whenever I will use it as a master. I'll create this procedure. So whenever I try to do some logic, I'll handle this exception. So I'm creating a procedure called as error insert handler. So here I'm saying here, if my error number is equal to this I have to print. Like I have written about 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and in that also I have printed the error message. Okay, this is a procedure. Now, so whenever I'm using this, I will use this procedure to do the error handling. Since I'm writing it every time the error handling, I created a procedure. I'll be using this. Now here I'm trying to pass one employee ID 1 valid EMP 1 null. So begin try. If you don't get an error, you directly come outside. But if you try to get already, if one is already existing, if you get an existing, then if error is any of these things 547, 515245, you'll call this procedure. You'll call this procedure. It comes to this. See here, what I'm doing, I've written a common function. If my error number any of these things, I'm calling this. If this doesn't have handling. If there is not this, I'm throwing the error to the end user. This way, you can maintain the reusable error handling code in one place. That means you write it one place, you can use wherever you want. Instead of writing the same set of lines of code 100 times, you make it a procedure and you call this procedure wherever you want to write. Okay? Thank you. This completes the error handling in SQL Server.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.